to play the right way.
What are your thoughts as you open your first training camp as an NBA head coach?
The funny thing is the basketball part is probably the easiest transition in this job. I've talked about it through the hiring stage, when I first got here, through media day, and the managing of people is probably the biggest hurdle or difference going from lead assistant, associate head coach now into this head coach seat. The basketball part has been great because you're on the court, you're in your element, you start implementing things, as you go, you see the response and the positive rapport that you develop with players on the court. So all those things are transitioning, moving in the right direction. So it feels natural. It's a good feel.
And I want to ask you about Corey Kispert, because you come over from a team that had a really strong track record in player development. As you take a guy with that much talent as a first-round pick, just kind of what do you think is a proper way to bring them along in their first training camp?
Well, I'll say this. Just seeing his maturation from summer league to this point is exciting. And it's also a good indicator where he'll be, throughout the preseason and into the regular season. Obviously, nothing is promised. All rookies go through it, including rookie coaches. So yeah, there's some hurdles and some bumps. It's a learning curve that we all have to go through. But he's shown the development. He's shown progress, and it's exciting to see a guy like that who's been well coached. He's been a 4-year guy, so he's been in those big moments. He knows how to play the game. He knows his strengths. He understands his weaknesses. He's done a tremendous job of getting better every day.
Ava.
Hey, Wes, nice to see you.
Likewise.
Just wondering, since you guys have been in since Labor Day, what's been kind of priority number one in getting all the guys together?
Just developing that on-court chemistry. Aside from the schematics, understanding terminology, getting us reassimilated with each other. It's a new group. It's essentially a new team. So having those guys be on the floor together, whether it's drills, playing open run, getting the opportunity to get to know each other on and off the court, but also developing an understanding of each other's strengths and weaknesses, where a guy likes his shots, what kind of actions does he prefer? Some of the simple details of, what box does he like to post on? So all those little things you kind of pick up as a player, and those things you don't necessarily teach because we're not really putting in offense per se. We're just allowing those guys to feel it, play together, and learn each other.
And then I know you've had conversations with Brad before you even kind of met him in person and started working. But I guess when you have those initial kind of conversations, what are you trying to accomplish? Are you just saying like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm about? Can you give us a little bit of insight into what you talked about with Brad and then also Spencer?
Well, I think with both guys, those initial conversations are no different than any other organic relationship that you would develop with someone you don't know. Yeah, I think it's just get to know each other. How do we think? What are your aspirations? What inspires you? Obviously this game has been good to both guys. They're very, very extremely talented players, and I think to have them together is a huge benefit to me as a first-time head coach, but to the organization. But to get to know those guys on a personal level, that's how you build the rapport. And I think once that foundation is established, you can kind of start implementing some of the work-related things. But just kind of get to know them, who they are as people, what makes them tick.